Hello my scrappy peeps, it's Cheyenne and we're doing another Disney scrapbook process video. Now this one I don't really have anything all that planned out other than what you see before you. So it's going to kind of be a scrap as I go. I haven't pre-planned any of this. I'm not planning on using my Cricut in this one. These are just trying to use up more of my craft stash and not do anything too overly Disney either. So it's been a bit of a challenge, and it's definitely very inspiring. So I'm going to kind of just like pull things out as I use them. I did pull some other papers that I thought might work. So let me talk about the photos. Now this is from the Haunted Mansion, and I just love the architecture and the attention to detail and the whole theming and storyline of Haunted Mansion. It really speaks to me. One of the first rides that I completely fell in love with. I was a greeter at this ride for a special event one night, and I had a blast. I never worked there. It was part of my area, but just Jungle Cruise and Pirates of the Caribbean. So this has a special place. I love that Disney is making more of the queues interactive, so there's interactive features. So you can see here, like there's these little like books, and if you touch on some of them, you'll hear different music notes. And of course, it's fun to go through and like read all the tombstones. There's just funny things that are written on it. And then we've got Captain Culpepper Klein. His tomb is kind of right there, and I think it's just gorgeous, and it'll actually squirt water at you, which is really nice on those hot summer days when you're standing in line in Central Florida. So I love it. And actually, you see over here, like this is the end of it. Over here in like this corner on the floor, usually underneath a trash can, if you like move and look, you'll actually see an engagement ring that is in the concrete, the sidewalk, the pavement. You can't get it out, you can't move it, but that is part of the theming. That's the bride's engagement ring. So little hidden knowledge there. So I kind of wanted to make this feel a little bit old, a little bit vintage, kind of Victorian, because that's kind of the theming of the Haunted Mansion. There's also a very heavy chest theme to it as well. If you look up along the top, the roof line, you're going to see a lot of like chess pieces that are kind of up there. So anyway, I've got this old die cuts with a view paper from, I believe it was like their Happily Ever After stack. I don't know if they still do it anymore, but I've got a ton of this paper because I fell in love with it. I actually have some of it framed and hung above my bed because like every girl wants, you know, a fairy tale. And they say what you put in your rooms, especially your bedroom, that's kind of what you bring forth into your life. So of course I want a fairy tale romance. So those are going to stay right above my bed. So yeah, and I just thought it worked very well with the whole Captain Culpepper Sea sort of theme. And then over here I've just got, I believe this is a Tim Holtz paper, along with this from one of his stacks. The top is torn off of it, so I don't know, but that's all the information I can give you. But this is just an inventory list for probably more like a farm, because it's got like all of these different things that it could be inventory, and then all that. So, you know, that's very like Victorian manner. So I thought that fit as well. I do have, I found on Pinterest a whole bunch of Project Mouse, if you will, Project Life cards that I went ahead and put together and print and cut them. Yeah, I don't know if I'm supposed to, but it's for personal use. I'm not selling them or anything. This is also from that Tim Holtz set, so just a whole bunch of different letters, and I thought that was very nice. Script letters, you know, Victorian era. You wrote letters, not emails. You sent them through the post. It was fun. And then this, it does kind of remind me of Haunted Mansion. For some reason, probably because of the costumes, I always think like that hunter green and purple and black and gray. Like those are the colors I associate with the Haunted Mansion. So I pulled this out, and I think that it goes really well with this one. But I'm going to try to use it on both pages because it's going to be a two-spread layout. But I'm not using the same paper. So I want something to tie them together, but I don't want them to be too matchy-matchy because the photos, while they were taken in the same place, in the same area, in the queue line for Haunted Mansion, they kind of go with different things. So anyway, without further ado, we're going to get to the actual scrapping of this, and we'll probably do one page at a time. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm just winging it today. I am winging it. And this is being done during quiet time, so I have not a whole lot of time to do this. So let's get to it. Okay, here we have the finished layouts. I could do more. Absolutely, I could keep layering on embellishments onto all of these, like filling in different bits and pieces, but you know, I'm kind of enjoying a more simplistic scrapbooking. I find that like this is the end of the school year and there's a lot of stuff. We've got my stepdaughter, she's graduating kindergarten, my son is graduating 8th grade, and there's just a lot of events going on, along with doing my actual day job as a hairstylist and everything. It gets a little cray-cray at times. So having a nice simple layout so I can get the layouts going and have it focused more on the pictures. And I've got some really nice background papers, and one of the things I struggle with is having these like wonderful background papers like the ones from the Happily Ever After die cuts with a view stack. Like, they're so gorgeous, I don't want to cover them up. So I've been kind of keeping them just in my stash and not using them because I don't want to cover them up with pictures and embellishments and ephemera. So this is a way I can use these papers, have the gorgeousness be part of the layout and everything. I mean, this is all stuff that I would probably do anyway to add to it, and I don't have to because it's part of the paper. Sometimes I have to remind myself I don't have to be so artistic that I'm losing my time. Like, I don't have to get all crazy and artsy and stuff with everything and hand make everything and draw and stamp and all of that stuff. I can let the paper do the work for me. It's okay to do that. So all right, here we go. So we've got our Captain Culpepper Klein, which again, this is all part of the Haunted Mansion queue line, which is very interactive. And then here we've got just more photos from the queue. I always have tons of photos from outside of the Haunted Mansion because once you're inside it's very dark and it's very hard to take pictures. Because I worked at Pirates of the Caribbean. That too is another ride where everything's kind of dark, and it does get very annoying and disrespectful when somebody's sitting there and they're taking a lot of flash photography. Like, it's very hard for other people to see. Like, your eyes, like, they get adjusted to the darkness, and then if you have someone doing flash photography all over the place, then you can't actually see because your eyes are constantly trying to adjust to the dimness in the building, right? And then there are times when people have their actual video cameras. I've seen this multiple times. They have their video cameras and they have the spotlight on them, so they're recording, they're filming with the spotlight on, and that's just totally destroying the magic. Don't do it. So I don't go in and do flash photography. All right, that's my little former cast member rant on all of that. Maintain the integrity of the ride and the experience and the magic. Okay, so all right, that is it for today. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm going to try to get this up. You know, I post these on Saturdays when I can. So yeah, print out those Disney pictures and get to magical memory making scrapbooking. All right, until next time, happy scrapping. Bye.